If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Central Valley Talk. My name is Ray Johns. I'm your host, and the name of my show is Voices Not Yet Heard, and like we say every single week, we hope we'll be the vehicle so that voice can get heard. Now, before I get started with my show, I want to apologize for my absence last week, and I want to give you some personal advice. If you have a physical problem, please contact your physician right away. I didn't do that. I very senselessly and foolishly did not do that, and I almost had a big major problem. I also want to thank the people out at St. Agnes Hospital. I had a private room out there, and those people were absolutely wonderful. They were outstanding, and I send a praise out to them, and thank you for all your great professional service. Now, before we get started, I want to make a statement. I do not in any way, means, or form condone what Donald Trump said. That being said, let me say that this election should not be decided on what Donald Trump uttered a few days ago. It shouldn't. We should still keep these issues in mind. And who can run this country? I want to read you a little something. I hardly ever do that. But this was in the local Fresno Bee. Let me get it here. And I want to read this to you, and then I want to continue with what we're talking about. Listen to this. And this was written by a man, by the way, by the name of Tom McClintock, and he's a Republican out of Elk Grove. If any of you know who he is, please call in, and the number will appear on the screen. We're live right now. If you talk to us later, it'll be a rebroadcast. So please feel free to call in, voice your opinion. That's why we're here. Anyway, if anyone knows who Tom McClintock is, I would appreciate a call in and telling me who this gentleman is. I thought this was not only profound, I thought it was very apropos. Donald Trump wasn't my first or even second choice for president, but I can certainly tell the difference between the fire and the fireman. And when a fireman is trying to save my house from burning down, the fact he uses lewd and vulgar language in private conversation with other guys doesn't change the nature of the emergency. I thought that was very profound. I thought it was very apropos for what we have here today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have Gary Miguel coming back. I'm going to bring him in a little bit. Right now, I want to say something, and before I do, but I am so glad he's here. He, as usual, always has a wealth of information. Now, the bottom line is, what do we want? We have 25 days left until we step up to the plate and make a decision as to where we're headed with this great nation. Now, it's pretty obvious to most people. I mean, I'm not going to go in and jump on Hillary at this point. I just want you all know the facts. I'm just going to hit you with a few of them here. Now, do you want somebody that can run this country? There's an underlying fear that's floating across America, and it has to do with those Islamic idiots named ISIS. Now, Hillary Clinton has already made the statement that she's endorsing this present administration who has done nothing to stop ISIS. Now, they will tell you that they have made, since 2014, 9,300 and something, over 9,000 military strikes against these Islamic ISIS idiots, okay? I get so upset when I think about it. 9,000 attacks at the cost of $11 million, $11 million per attack. Now, I'll do the math for you. I've already done it. That's $5.5 billion to the American public, okay? $5.5 billion for nothing. Nothing has happened. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama created this vacuum that caused ISIS in the first place, you know. So give it some thought, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk to you. We're going to inform you as much as you can. Who do you want running this country? Don't allow what was said, don't allow what's being said in the media, and don't allow what even Donald Trump to influence this election. This election is very, very important. And I said a long time ago, I'm going to say it again. I don't care what Donald Trump says, okay? And I know that's tough, but it's true. Here's what I do care about: the direction of this great country. And this man will make a difference. I'm going to bring in Gary Magellan, and he's going to back me up on this, and he's got a wealth of information. Gary? Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Well, Ray, thank you.
So glad to have you.
Glad to have you back. By God, I tell you what, you're one tough hombre.
Well,
I'm thinking, how you started this?
I was not going to miss the day for anything.
Oh my God!
This man is so busy, and he's so kind to break major business things that he's doing. He's doing stuff all over the country, and for him to come and see me is, first of all, a great honor to me and to the show. And so I am so grateful to have you.
Well, thank you, Ray. Like I said, you're one tough hombre.
Gary, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that people are, of course, this is according to the media, are making decisions based on what Donald Trump said.
Well, Ray, I think you're talking to the wrong guy, and I'll tell you why.
I'm never talking to the wrong guy when I'm talking to you.
Because I don't even. That isn't even an issue with me.
Yeah.
Because I've been in enough locker rooms, I've been in enough bars, and I've been in enough squadron briefing rooms to know what is talked about.
I keep forgetting this man's a pilot. Okay.
Well, I mean, what he said 30 years ago. My Lord, I mean that's something you just automatically. I said, well, how is that an issue? Well, of course, that says a little bit about me when I think I don't.
Oh my goodness, people are switching parties, and I apologize to all women. Okay, it was terrible. Okay, it was terrible. But American people are smart enough to know that should not deter them at all from the direction of Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton cannot run this country. She cannot run this country. She's not fit to run this country.
Well, the thing is, along with that, you mentioned the women. This was a woman that wrote this. And she says, now, would this make sense? And she writes it like this. She says, I'm going to elect a lying, corrupt, crooked, incompetent person because some guy said P word 30 years ago. I mean, to me, it's
there you
not.
Have it.
I mean, it's
there
so
you
simple. I mean, that's just a deal that the press built. But I guarantee you, I'm talking about women now also. I mean, my sister, I said, well, did that bother? She said, oh, my God, she was married to a guy that was a fighter pilot. And,
I've got to say,
I mean, look at the ballpark. Go in the locker room in any ballpark you go to.
Sandra was, she was a little appalled at first, but it was not in any way going to let her influence
Of course not.
her vote for Donald Trump. And
well,
of
I
course,
mean, that
she's
is
a real
so
smart
silly.
Woman, but
If you think how silly it is, okay, remember, like this woman said, she says, I'm going to vote for Hillary and all that goes with it because, and now, let me tell you, this country does not survive with Hillary. It's worse than she's not competent and all that. This doesn't even survive. But by God, I'm voting for Hillary because this man said some mean things. Now, does that make any sense in the world?
It doesn't. And Gary said that. Let me give you a fact here, okay? Under this president administration that Hillary Clinton endorses, by the way, President Obama has tripled the debt. His debt is the past three presidents combined doesn't equal his debt, and we have a $19 trillion debt right now that grows by millions every single day. You want to continue that for the next 8 years because that's what you have with Hillary Clinton.
Well, that's true, but you're going to have something worse than that, Ray. What you're going to have is a colony instead of a country, and it's going to be a globalist colony. Because Hillary Clinton,
I hope you're getting this. This is very.
Hillary Clinton, her real interest, of course, is to be president of the United States. But her real interest is to be the most powerful person in the world.
Absolutely, I believe that totally.
And so it's not she's for no borders. She already said that.
She's always said she also will change the Second Amendment. By the way, just to slip that.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
In fact, in one of her emails, one of the people said that she would be using executive order to go after guns.
That's changing the Second Amendment.
That changed it. Well, it you just,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what the other one she's after. With her Supreme Court judge, she's after the Constitution.
Of course, they get somebody in there, they may be in there for another 40
Now,
years.
That's not something I suppose. That's something you read. You can read
Yes,
it.
Absolutely.
You know, and so what we're not talking about is somebody way he parts his hair or he doesn't say the right words or he does what or whatever. But what we're really talking about is this is our last chance to have a United States as we think it's supposed to be, because it will be. And the other day we read it, and they have taken care of. There's 8 steps to communism.
Yes, I remember that.
And
That
that's
was on
a
about
con-
3 shows back. I do remember.
Right. Remember that? Okay. Of those 8, 5 of them have been accomplished. And every communist country does exactly that.
Oh my goodness.
5
I
of them have
remember
been
that. I
accomplished.
remember
And of course, without going over it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. There's 3 left. One of them is the election.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's only 2 that they have to complete. And you elect Hillary Clinton, I guarantee you those 2
Oh,
are
absolutely.
fulfilled.
And then you and I went over that, and that's
Right.
this is the major step right there.
I mean-
for them and us.
Well, when you read the emails now that are coming out, we've got a whole bunch more to go. I think there's only been about 10. Just that alone is so damaging. And it's scary if, in fact, you think this woman is supposed to be president of the United States. I want to ask you a question. Think about this. I mean, most people that I know, I don't care what, particularly what nationality or race or what party they belong to, but you know they have their beliefs, and most people, at least the ones I know, they're all good people. But I do know that there's a lot of them that are naive and gullible. Now, why are they that way? I don't know.
I think they've been programmed in a sense.
That's
for year
exactly
after
right.
Year after year.
Well,
you know?
of 50 years
Yes.
of programming since the 60s, I think.
Yeah, since
And
Johnson
maybe
signed
before
that
that.
Civil Rights Bill
Well,
in 1964.
even before, right, but that was just, that was one thing. But actually, that Civil Rights Bill would have never happened had it not been for Republicans, which everybody today.
Thank you. There were more Republicans that voted for that bill.
It would
than
never
Democrats.
pass.
It wouldn't have.
It would
wouldn't
not have passed.
You know, why isn't that in the media? You know, it's just like I asked this question, Gary, getting off the subject a little bit. You know, why do these news media, which I'm so upset, and excuse me, CNN, all of them, everything will be negative toward Donald Trump. You know, all the people
Right.
they bring on, every once in a while, they'll, I guess because they know they have to, and this has been for the last year, from the very first debate, when 17 people stood on that stage, including Donald Trump, and they made him make a commitment to endorse whoever the nominee was for that
Right.
party. You
Right.
know, and we have, and I'll say it again, I'll just say this: Jeb Bush, Cruz, Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. These people made a pledge in front of the whole country, and then they backed out. They
Well, look
backed
at
out,
Casey's.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about that is that when you consider what the stakes are, you know, and it really isn't about Hillary Clinton right now, and it really isn't about Donald Trump.
No.
It's about this country
Exactly.
being a country
Thank you.
or not being a country.
Thank you.
That's what it's
exactly
about.
what it's about.
And that's what people have to forget. I don't care. I don't care if Trump forgets to wear that red tie, do you?
Yeah. No.
Or Hillary's. Oh, she's got a button unbuttoned or something.
yeah.
I don't care about any of that.
We don't.
But
Let's
what I
quit
do care about
nitpicking.
is the fact that this country will not be a country as we envision it.
Beautiful,
And this has
Gary.
happened. You said, "Well, wait a minute." Well, it's happened to every country that's gone communist. You know, I mean, look at Venezuela. Look at all these
Perfect
countries.
example, Venezuela.
but it's
Once
also
a very prosperous country.
happened to civilizations. The
Sure it
Greeks,
has. Yeah. It
you
has.
know, Rome, and we can go and cite other civilizations that are completely void today. Now, those people sitting back then, don't you think that there was enough of them that said, "Oh, it'll never happen. I'm not worried about it," but it did. Okay, now
The people are saying that now about this country. Of course,
well,
they are. Look what happened.
and look at the positive influence throughout the last 2,000 years with Jesus. Not everybody listened to Jesus.
No.
In fact, they put him on a cross. Think about it.
Yes.
And this is something that people have to understand. And hopefully there's enough enlightened people, because I don't want to say dumb people, but enlightened people that enlighten themselves to realize what we're really facing right now.
You know, and you can't help but say to these people, I mean, all these people that are talking about they're going back to straddling the fence, let me ask you this. What made you vote for Donald Trump? What made you get on the bandwagon for Donald Trump in the first place? That hasn't changed.
That's
It
true.
hasn't changed at all.
That's untrue. I mean, you sense it right away that, wait a minute, this is the only way this country gets saved, because there's what's called the uniparty establishment that owns both parties, and what they basically do, they don't care which one wins, as long as it's one of them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say that this was Cruz instead of Trump, or this was Casey. They just let Hillary and whoever decides. It doesn't matter to them because they control them both.
They control them both. That's special.
And they
interest.
are
That's finest.
globalists. They're not sovereigns.
Yeah.
And the American people have an opportunity to send a message for their fact for their own good, because it means a whole different world out there, to send a message that, wait a minute, we are Americans, and we're going to have an America, and we're going to have a country with borders, and we're going to have a country of free people. Because the issue is slavery, believe me. And I think you better than anybody understand, we've already been through that one time.
Yes, we
You
have.
know? And just like Abraham Lincoln is an example, he was a Republican, not a Democrat.
First Republican elected president of the United States
And,
ever.
and if you go through the list of things like, for instance, well, the right to vote. Blacks didn't have the right to vote.
No.
Republicans made it so.
Absolutely.
Blacks didn't have a right to own guns. Republicans made it so.
Great point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I gotta tell you, folks. I mean, look at Hillary Clinton. Look at what she. I mean, first of all, she endorses this present administration. So that tells you that what you've had the last 8 years, you're going to have for another 8 years. You know, and there's just so many things that we can talk about. We can't even get about why we're where we're at right now. You know, I mean, ISIS is one of them. You know, that's only one of them. But it goes on and on. The economy, which is under Barack Obama, is 2.5 times among black Americans. Okay, American blacks. Among American blacks, it is almost triple. Okay, Obama has not done anyone any favors with his administration, and especially black Americans.
Well, you know what? The Democrats haven't done any favors for black Americans since for the last 50 years.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously. I would have to say that, it would come about, of course, eventually, but I mean, I have to give credit for Johnson.
Oh yeah, making the initial move. And
You know why he made it? And he states it. You can just read it, right? He made that civil right for one reason only. He says, we'll have their votes for the next 200 years.
And he was correct. I mean, hopefully he's not, but he was. It's happened ever since.
But
then.
it was sad that
Yeah.
he was right about how it turned out. It would not have happened had it not been.
That's why
for-
all
Yeah.
those. That's why all those hand-me-down gifts that supposedly they gave the poor people, affirmative action, busing, all that stuff.
Well, listen, it
was
was-
enacted, which never worked.
Well, there was a free boat ride over here long before that.
Yeah.
How free was that?
Well,
Not very free.
History tells us it wasn't very free. No.
Yeah, and the thing about what he's looking at as far as Trump, I keep listening to his speeches. I never see any hint that he treats any one group any different than the other. Do you?
No, not at all.
I mean, he
You know?
talked just.
He went into, this man, when you think of all the things that Donald Trump has gone through in the last year, it's just amazing. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's still standing. He doesn't back down from anything. This latest incident
it's
that
incredible.
everybody's pulling their hair out about, he walked right in. He apologized for that. That is all that he can do. Hillary Clinton can't apologize for 33,000 emails and lying to soldiers, to the mother of soldiers in Benghazi. You know, she cannot. There's no way she can apologize for that.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back here in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back, and I'm of course with my great friend and great contributor to my show, Gary Miguel. And so I want Gary to come in. He's got a couple of things to say.
Well,
Gary.
one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is as we're getting closer and learning more, it really, I mentioned it earlier, it really gets down to a decision of whether you want this country to remain a sovereign United States as a country with borders and laws, or do you want a country with no borders and a colony as far as part of the global one world order? That's what the decision is. So let's forget about the personalities if we can for a little bit with Hillary and them. And then
Absolutely.
you say to yourself, let's just take Hillary out of the equation. Let's take Trump out of the equation and just say, which way do you want to go this country to go? Let's look at that vote that way. So when I'm voting for Trump or I'm voting for Hillary, I'm voting for one of those two eventualities down the road.
Very
Either I
well put.
remain free, either
Yeah.
I have borders, I don't have borders. I have one law for everybody, I don't have a one law for everybody.
Very well put, Gary.
And that's what I'm more afraid of, that people need to really wake up to. Forget about the personalities of Clinton and Trump right now. Just think about what you're trying to do. You're saying, man, I want a free country, or I want to be a communist.
You know,
know.
with that being said by Gary so eloquently, let me say this. You know, it is imperative that you do your personal due diligence. Do it on Donald Trump. You know, he would say that. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, please do your due diligence on Hillary Clinton. Take a look at these WikiLeaks emails that are coming out right now. Read about them. You know, Google them. Read about them. I think you'll make a very informed and intelligent decision if you do that.
Well, you can get some help along the way. For instance, if you break it down and say, now look, let's take what we know about Hillary Clinton right now.
Yes.
Okay, we know she's a liar, and everybody knows that, including her own group.
Oh, of course they do.
Okay,
They assist her in it.
and we know she's corrupt. I mean, how else do you go to a job making $250,000 a year, but you make $250 million while you're at the job, at that job?
That was just stated the other night. It's beautiful. Think about
Yeah.
this.
I mean, how do you do that without corruption, right? Okay, or pay for pay for play. Okay, then let's go to the next level and say, well, is she crooked? Of course, we've seen that over and over. Is she a criminal? Well, she would be under any other.
General Petraeus, I
Yeah,
said it 50
exact-
times. He
over
would have
and
been,
over. In fact-
he's in jail for
in fact-
doing 1/100th of
Well,
what Hillary Clinton.
One guy called today, and wrote today. I read it on the internet, and he said that he spent a year in jail for doing 1/10 of what she did.
Absolutely, and there's lots others. I mean, if they let Hillary Clinton go, they ought to open up the gates of prisons and let these people out that have been accused of far less than what she's accused
But I'll
of.
tell you what else, Ray. Even if she wasn't all that, and all she wanted was to become the most powerful person in the world, that not only is president of this colony that she now looks at as being a colony, she is the most strongest person in the world. Okay, so let's forget all about the criminal or the liars and all that. Would you want to vote for somebody that
Absolutely.
would want to do that?
Absolutely not.
Forget about that.
know?
Just say to yourself, I would rather be a free country, and I'd rather it return to a country of laws and borders, and I'm a patriot, and now we have a patriot, and we are a sovereign nation as one flag and one God and one person.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, take a good look at where we're at right now. Beautiful what Gary just said. But take a look at where we are right now with this present administration and take a look at the direction we're headed, okay? That's all we're saying. Look where we're headed. You know, we've had 8 years of this. Do you really and truly want 8 more years? Because that's what you've got.
And I'll tell you the thing that's a lot of the people that are going to supposedly vote for Hillary because of the freebies.
Well, of course.
But let me tell you what happens to them if Hillary gets elected. She will have a forced labor. And those people are in for a heck of a surprise. And you say, well, I don't think she said, well, you believe anything she says, number one. Why wouldn't she have a forced labor when everybody else that has the same ideology that she has have done that. In fact, Venezuela, just about a month ago, you think those people ever thought in a million years there'd be forced labor? She'll get those people out of those ghettos, all right, but they're going to be on working in some salt mine. And I'll use an example like Siberia.
Yeah.
You used to hear that when I was a kid all the time.
Oh,
They go to the salt mine.
Yeah. That might sound far-fetched. It doesn't to me. I could very well see that happening.
Well,
I think it's obvious
Ray,
we're headed.
especially if you have a Supreme Court stacked with people who feel that way,
Yes.
because they've removed basically the Constitution as we once understood it, and that's how they go about doing that. And you put people on there that are, quite frankly, there's a lot of them, including Hillary, who would like to do away with that Constitution.
Of course.
And it will be done away with. And it's been happening little by little, and we just don't realize it. It's back to that frog you put in cold water and then turn the heat on, and he just sits there till he dies. And this is what's happening to so many people.
Yeah.
We just sit back and just let it happen. All of a sudden we wake up one day and say, whoa, wait a minute, I'm in boiling water.
Oh, yeah. It's too late.
It's too late, yeah. And I think that another thing that I often think about, the last time we had a situation like this, Ray, was the Civil War. We had fathers against sons, brothers against brothers. It was awful.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Worst mark on
It's
on this
horrible.
country.
And I
ever.
mean, we're talking about worst carnage. Gettysburg, 100,000 casualties in
Yes.
3 days. Think about that. Now, here's else to think about with that is the fact that when you had that, you had the enemy. And whether you're on the south or the north, you do have an enemy.
Yes.
And they had uniforms. And you could tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Some were gray and some were blue. And that was in your country.
Yes.
And you knew who to shoot at and who not to shoot at. Let me tell you, you got the same thing here, except there's no uniform.
No uniforms. I knew you were going to say that.
see
no
that?
uniforms.
Now, here's the way I look at it.
It's a great analogy.
At somebody who is trying to somebody who is so much desire to overthrow this country and make it a colony, which means it's no longer the United States, she has said that. Not to you and I out here, but to the emails.
Yes.
All right, now think about this. Isn't somebody who is voting for Clinton just like it was in the South, but the uniform, isn't that person really in a uniform?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, you can see that, can't you? All of a sudden you say, wait a minute, that's an enemy. Because they're voting for what would destroy what I believe in. So isn't that what it's all about?
Sure it is.
Every war is about that, right? So when you consider that, and you ask yourself, even as a, I say, I don't know, somebody with goodwill or good intention and all that, but Ray, my God, those people they're brainwashed.
Gosh, and have been for 40 years.
And have been over a
Yeah.
long period of time, school system and so forth. So now, are they going to turn around and after knowing the facts that they know, and all they have to look at is say, Jesus, let's see, liar, crooked, corrupt, criminal, incompetent. Now, let's forget that running for president of the United States. Let's say that's an office right here in Fresno for the mayor. And
Okay.
you've got one mayor that has what I just said, and I have another mayor that doesn't have that. Now, which one of those people would you vote for mayor of Fresno?
Well, this mayor, of course.
Of course. So why is it then that you have the same situation that you would vote that person president of the United States? Now, how much sense does that make?
It makes none at all.
None at all.
At all.
Right.
You've got to do your due diligence. You have
Yeah.
to. I don't care how much you've studied, how much you think you know. I do it all the time, and I learn more and more and more. Take a look at these WikiLeaks emails. Look at
Absolutely.
them. Take a good look at them.
And after of course, I'm reading and keeping up with that as we go along. Ray, it's down to, let's say I'm a Clintonite. I want to vote for Clinton. I'd be to the point where I'd be embarrassed to tell you or anybody.
And we're just on the
I'd
tip of
be embarrassed to tell my kids. I'd be embarrassed to tell anybody that I voted for a criminal, corrupt, that design was to overthrow our country. Now, what kind of a person would do something like that?
And we're just at the tip of the iceberg on these emails, aren't we?
Well, that's another thing too. You said the word tip, and it is the tip. And I'll tell you what the iceberg is. The iceberg is the Democrats. That's the iceberg.
I like the way you
And-
put things.
And so what's going to happen here? There's going to be a lot of people go to jail if Trump gets elected president.
You think that, and they know that too.
And
If
they
he-
know that.
if
I mean,
he-
they're
if-
fighting like crazy. I'm surprised. Well, you know what? He wears a bulletproof vest for you and me.
I love that.
And there's a lot of people, Republicans and Democrats. It's not. It's either. It doesn't matter. Trump doesn't matter when it comes to the law. Everybody's equal in the eyes of the law, and that's the way it is, you know. And there will be a lot of people that are starting to maybe wake up a little bit, whether they're Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. They could find themselves in a lot of trouble down the road. You see.
Gary, can you imagine if he appoints Chris Christie Attorney General? He'll go after Hillary Clinton like that. He's already
Well,
made that statement.
Yeah, in fact, he's got, that's right. I mean, he's already made that statement. Here's what he's trying to do, really. He's trying to make us become thinking as one people, one Americans.
We talked about
all
the
are.
power of we the people.
Now,
a couple
how
of shows
can he
ago.
best do that but by demonstrating that there is one law for all of us, and there's nobody above the law. So just that one thing. If
Oh, yeah.
If he makes it to where that law, if you're a criminal or you committed a crime, which is treason as far as I'm concerned, that's a little strong, but the point is, she put the whole United States in jeopardy.
Of course she
Well,
did.
I
She sold
explained-
us down the river.
Well, I explained it last time I'm sitting out there. I could have shot down a liner full of passengers, innocent as all get out, but somebody sabotaged through the codes they got through Hillary's email.
You know, it's scary because
server,
we know that people like this will take whatever means possible to, accomplish their goals. They will do that. And what scares me, Gary, is all the technology that, there could be things going along right now, and I think there probably are, that we don't know about.
Well, of
that can be
course,
done.
yeah.
And things, and that's why when we talk about the polls, anything in this country can be manipulated if you have the people
Oh,
who
my
know how to do these awful things.
Well,
and they are there.
In fact, this one guy broke it down and he listed how they are rigging the polls, and how. Well, that's just one little example. There was more to it. How they questioned by the way they asked the question and what and this. but
Some
here-
polls are 500 and some polls are 50,000. I mean,
Well, the 50,000 is the private one because
That's
those guys
one.
they're not going to waste their time on 50,000.
No.
They just need 500.
and they need it right now.
Or
So
they need it right now. But here's the thing: let's say we have a county. Let's say Fresno County is 60% Democrats and 40% Republican, and we're going to poll it, just make it 100 people.
Okay.
Okay, now because it's 60% Democrat, 40% Republican, they're going to ask 60 people that are Democrat and 40 people that are Republican. Now,
Oh,
what do
my
you think that thing's going to come
Well,
out?
of course. Of course.
You know what I mean? It's little things like that, and it gets
There's
pretty.
a whole lot more.
I was surprised how devious it gets if you want to follow
Mm-hmm.
it along. So, I think that the media, as we know it, is really in deep trouble. They're owned by the establishment, and these are
This is
one
just
world
yeah.
people.
This is just coming out right now. all
Well,
about the
people like
collusion.
Bush family is an example. I used to think that Bushes were pretty cool. No, they're not. They're every bit as corrupt and crooked as Hillary Clinton, for crying out loud.
I know.
You know what I mean? And they're not alone. And then there's about there's more than that. There's about 50 families that make up what they call the real hardcore. And then you got the Uniparty, which is made up of another group of billionaires, corporate, Wall
Corporate,
Street,
Yeah.
okay, all that.
Of,
Well-
of whom Hillary stands up and speaks out against them, and she and she happens to be a big part of them.
Well, her speech is coming out. She even comes out and says that I have to say this to the public, and this is what I say in private. What more do you need than that? So she's telling you in private one thing. Oh, this is how we're going to do it. Don't worry. This is how we'll make that back because you want a certain thing. That's how you're going to do it. And then she just comes out gets on TV and says the 180-degree opposite,
We've seen it happen.
and she
Yeah.
admits to it.
You've got to take a
Yeah.
look at these WikiLeaks emails. You must take a look at them.
Well, do you really get the impression when she's talking about, like for instance, the Hispanic community, the Black community, the poverty, or the workers, or this? Do you ever get the feeling that she really does care about it?
Are you kidding?
I mean,
She's
isn't
like any other liberal leftist Democrat.
and
you
she
know.
turns right around after she leaves that microphone and goes over and tells those people just I told them that because that's what they wanted to hear.
Do you want this woman leading this country? Come on.
I feel pretty confident that the American public in the next couple of weeks is going to get very smart about it.
I'm going to say it again, and I told you that I'm going to come on here. It's a Tuesday, election day, and I'm going to come on here Thursday, and I'm going to tell you people, Donald Trump won't stand up and say, I told you so. Ray Johns is going to tell you the 2 days after the election, I told you so. Donald Trump's going to win this election.
Well, it's a win that sure it's nice to pat yourself on the back about it, but let me tell you, Ray, it means life and death.
I believe that totally, Gary.
It's so serious. It's much. I don't even care to brag about it. I just want to say, wow, finally we escaped that one. You know what I mean? And we can now become a country
Of we the people.
and
We
one.
the people.
Right. Americans. No hyphens.
Yeah, no hyphens. We're going to totally eliminate the hyphens. Buddy, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in, say, 2 and 2.
God bless the USA.
I'm back with, of course, with my buddy Gary, and well, we're trying to give you as much informed information as we can so that you make an intelligent decision here. 25 days from today, right, Gary?
Right. Oh, I tell you what, it only takes one day to get smart.
That's right. Now that's a cowboy saying, and I love it.
Well, you know, Ray, that's something to consider. We talk about the immigration, which Hillary talks about the immigration, and Trump says, wait a minute, we got to put borders, we got to vet these people.
Yes.
And they have to love America. You know, words, they have to love our culture. You don't come over here and
Burn flags and,
oh my God,
and
that's like
demonstrate.
you,
No.
That's like you coming in my house and telling me how in the world I should arrange my furniture and how I should cook my dinner and so
Exactly
forth.
like that.
That's, I mean, come on. That's a different culture, different thing, different line of thinking. But here's what you want to think about that. It makes more sense. And we're talking about ISIS in there. Now,
Good.
obviously, we can't get around it that it is, ISIS is here, right? Don't think of them as immigrants. I know this is not politically correct. Think of them what they really are, and that's invaders.
I think that's the only way to think of it.
Because it's an invasion when someone comes into your house and tells you how I want it done, and tells you what to cook, and tells you where to arrange it, tells you all. Isn't that an invasion
Yes.
of your privacy?
Absolutely.
Well, let
You
me
know.
tell you, this United States is private to me, and you come in here with your invasion, I'm not going to welcome you very, very well.
That's why you and I have
Yeah.
and we've continued to ask you to exercise your Second Amendment rights. Do it professionally. Find a good club, and I've got one, and I apologize because I didn't bring it, and I promise I'll bring it next week. And I know this gentleman, and he teaches classes. He's certified, all that. He works with the sheriff's department, which is where he explains to you everything that you can do. You should do. It's a great class. Anyway, we'll get that to you when we can. But you must exercise your Second
That's
Amendment
right.
rights. We don't know
Absolutely.
what's going to happen. You
Right.
know, this is a very serious time in this country.
And I'll tell you, if we imagine that Hillary is the president, guarantee you better. And now she'll try every trick in the book. I mean, martial law and everything else in the world to take your gun away. In fact, she's got a plan on how to do it, and that's executive order.
That's right.
And okay, what's the next thing comes with executive order? Martial law.
Yeah.
Okay, and they come in. Well, they can't take. Well, heck, they can't take your gun.
They can do anything they
Right.
want.
What Trump is trying to do is prevent it. Even you won't even have to think about it. You won't have to worry about that because he's going to put the law. The laws are there. He's going to support. Who's he getting the endorsement from? My Lord, the police, the border patrol,
All those
anything
people,
involved
absolutely.
with, and the military. Everything involved in keeping us one thing safe. There you go.
My goodness.
Everything involved to keep us safe. That is his number one priority. Okay, and anything involved to make us a more spirited nation, that's a priority. He doesn't have plans, the same plans for those people in those ghettos all over the United States that Hillary does, by a long shot.
Oh, I can believe that totally.
You see what I mean? And because why would Hillary, after if you look at her background, I mean, it goes to exactly what communists believe in, and that's where she received her she
yeah,
wrote
we had
papers and everything else.
Yeah, we had a show about that man that, yeah.
Right. Okay. Now let's think about that. If she was why would she? What is it that she could do? She's been there for 30 years or 26 years. She hasn't done anything.
That's what Donald Trump said at the debate, I
Yeah.
mean, what have you done,
She hasn't done anything to help. In fact, it's worse, isn't it?
Well, she had an answer there, and it was, and I didn't believe it, and it didn't make any sense. I don't think it did anything to change the world. I really don't, or even attempt to. It wasn't even close.
No, and she's talking about a 550% increase in. She calls them immigrants. I call them invaders.
And we already have them among us, and we want to add more to that.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, I mean, my grandfather came over here, couldn't read or write, and he came over as an immigrant. But so did a whole lot of other ones. But they come over to assimilate, not to change things. Mm-hmm. If I come over here and I'm a Muslim and I'm coming into a Christian or a Judeo-Christian country, and I'm going to impose my will as a Muslim, no, I better go to another country that's
Absolutely.
Muslim. Why am I coming into this one?
Yes.
Oh, I'm coming in here to change it. Oh, wait a minute, partner. Time out. You go back home. Mm-hmm. As simple as that. You come. It's like my grandfather told me this when he come over there. He said the number one thing, as soon as he wanted to assimilate as fast as he could, buy the kind of shirts they were wearing, buy the kind of pants they were wearing, wear the kind of hat they were wearing, and hopefully tried his best to talk like they did. Mm-hmm. Isn't that true?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You've seen
Absolutely.
that. You've seen immigrants come over here. The first thing they try to do, well, you had a dairy. I imagine there was some that kind of looked over there and copied you. I remember with growing cotton. My Lord, they didn't grow cotton in the Azores, but by God, they sure learned how quick.
Very quick.
Yeah. Now, you don't say, well, wait a minute. No, you guys, I'm coming over here now. I want you to do it like we did it in the Azores. No, you assimilate or you stay home.
You have to.
I mean,
you have
it's
to.
not
Absolutely. Or you stay home.
So then you got to ask yourself, why does Hillary want the people like that in here, and why does Obama want all these illegals in here? Because that's votes.
Of course it
That's
is.
votes no different than there was votes when Johnson signed the Civil Rights. That was votes. And that's been votes for everyone that way.
Please see this. Please see this.
I mean, I guarantee you, we've talked about this. Obama is not the first African American president. He's the first African black president, because that's where he was. That's where his culture is. It's African, not the United States. He came over with college age with a foreign student visa. Now he was raised in Indonesia. Now how do you pick up a culture if you're raised and your background has nothing to do with America?
You cannot.
So when people, I mean, I know it's kind of silly, but at the same time, I said, he was America's first black president. I said, no, he wasn't. He was Africa's first black president of the United States, because he has nothing to do with any of the blacks I know.
Well,
I mean, does it?
well, it hadn't shown in his record.
Oh, I mean, think about it. Look what his culture is compared to the people you know. He's not American. He's a Muslim. Simple as that. Now they oh well, no, you're being this and you're being that. I say, all you want. I mean, when I sit there and I say, by God, it walks like a duck, and it swims like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, What am I supposed to call it?
Well, I will say this: there have been so many questionable things that he has done. No one's really explained it to me, or I must have been sleeping. But I still don't understand the $500 billion to Iraq.
That was
Yeah.
hostage money.
Yeah, and no, I'm not the 400 million,
Oh.
the 500 billion, the first one.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that. And he did that. That was his executive. No one has abused executive order more than this president.
I don't understand that at all.
No one
myself.
does.
I don't even
No
know
one
if it
does.
was legal what he did.
That's what I'm saying. No one has explained to me yet. Now, why did you do that? What was the purpose of doing that to a country that burns our flag and hates us?
I tell you what,
Explain, no one has been able to explain that to me
and
yet.
I don't know if that was even legal or not. But I'm going to say this: if I was Obama, right the last hour, I'd pardon Hillary and I'd pardon myself. Because I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of people go to jail.
Yeah, because Donald Trump's going to get elected, and you will see
It's going to be one
all
law
of this
for
play out
everybody.
exactly like we've talked about. Exactly, this will happen.
And why isn't that fair? I mean, how fair is that you get thrown in jail because of who you are, and somebody doesn't have to go to jail because of who they are, and we're Americans? Why can't everybody live by the law? Or when we break it, we go to jail.
There seems to be a break amidst the FBI now, where some of those agents. Have you noticed that lately?
Yeah, they're patriotic. They
are, and they're coming out against Comey.
Sure, of course,
which they
because he's
should.
bought out. He's in the web.
Of course, he was bought
He's
out.
part of the corruption of the Clinton corruption. I remember back years ago when I was in Arkansas, farming there, and I talked to the local. That's when Clintons were governors,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Oh, I didn't know that. They said, "Well, man, we got a crooked governor and all this." But I'll never forget this one guy said. He says, "Don't ever get caught in the Clinton web, because they'll corrupt you." And now you got some innocent people, probably good citizens,
Sure.
that got caught. And look at that kid that erased those tapes.
Oh yes. What was his name?
Whatever it was. Well, the poor guy gets an order from, my God, it gets
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like me sitting here, or you sitting here, man, we get an order. I said, "Who is this?" And they sit there, "Well, this is Hillary Clinton from the State Department." And they said, "Well, Ray, we want you to wash your car tomorrow morning." You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're sitting there, well, man, I got a call from the President of the United States. By God, he thought I should wash my car. Well, you'd wash it. And so what I'm getting at is they play on a lot of naiveness.
Sure.
And everybody wants to get ahead. I mean, my God, geez, I'm kind of moving along here pretty good. I got hired by the State Department of the United States to buy a very important job. But little did I know I was being used to corrupt by the corruptors, and they corrupted me, which is what happened to Comey, which is what
Exactly.
happened to
Loretta Lynch.
And which has happened to the DOJ, and we could go on the IRS, and we can go on. And well, here's the point: the corruption goes all the way to the top.
Sure, it does.
I don't
Sure
really
it
know whether
does. Are
it's
you kidding?
Obama
Of course.
that-
It goes. It has to go all the way to the top. Okay.
Obama knew he was
If-
sending emails to a private server and said he wasn't.
And,
He
you know,
knew he was sending emails to Hillary because he sent emails to
I
Hillary.
said on one of my earlier shows that Loretta Lynch, regardless, because I really expected Hillary Clinton to get indicted.
Well, I
That
think
was my
in
fin-
fact,
thought
I
that
was
would
sitting there
happen. I was
thinking,
very
"Oh, my God,"
disappointed,
this is-
that it didn't happen.
No.
But I expected that to happen. That being said, I also said that Loretta Lynch would never, ever. Loretta Lynch would have resigned before she indicted Hillary Clinton. And I know that.
But you don't know how far the threats go and to what extent. I mean, I just read one of the emails that
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks, that advisor for Hillary. In fact, he's a
Podesta.
Yeah, that guy. Man, he was putting some words in there that's like a hit. How do we know that guy wasn't murdered? Bottom line, a lot of people think he does. I kind of think he did too.
There's too many people,
Yeah.
and too many incidents. Some of those happen. Whether they all did, who knows? We're gonna go to a break right now here, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back in 2 and 2. We're back. Every time I have Gary on, man, it goes so fast. I forget to do commercials because we're into what we're saying, and he always has something great to say, and that, of course, happened again today. Now, I just want to close by urging you to please. We have 25 days left until this country, and I love to say this, steps up to the plate and makes a decision and changes the course of this country. Take a good look at Donald Trump, please. Okay. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm glad I'm back. I urge you to call in when you can. Gary?
Well, thank you,
Thank
Ray.
you so much.
You bet. You know what? I was a little excited today, but I'll tell you why. I feel an urgency.
Oh, yeah.
And it's exciting.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you, buddy. Anyway, please, if you see a law enforcement officer, go up and shake his hand, as we say every single week, okay? And until I joyously meet with you again next Thursday, heaven's blessings.
CentralValleyTalk.com